Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is day 4 of Joyce Meyer's Quiet Times with God devotional. We are on day 4, and this title of today's devotional is The Source of True Joy. The Source of True Joy. And the devotional reads, "It brings incredible joy when you embrace the truth that you are a forgiven and adored child of God. So why are so many Christians sad, frustrated, and miserable? I believe it is because they do not understand the reality of being a child of God and the inheritance that is ours in Him. An obstacle or difficulty distracts them, and they simply forget the promises of God for their lives. This is the quickest way to live a sad life instead of a glad life. Jesus did not die to give you a discouraged, defeated, down life. He is your glory and lifter of your head. God has given you everything you need to enjoy Him, to enjoy yourself in the life He has given you. So look up today, celebrate His goodness and His blessings in your life. You are a child of the King. Let that fill your heart with joy." And the thoughts on this devotional: joy is independent of your circumstances. True joy is found in knowing Christ and the hope that He offers us. Take hold of His promises and walk in gladness regardless of the circumstances around you. Holy goodness. So my take on this devotional: I am so guilty of allowing situations and circumstances to just ruin my mood, vibe, energy, just all of it. I get so caught up in what's happening that I forget that at the end will be a testimony, and that comes with a blessing from God. Like I said in the first or second day of this devotional series, when you allow God to be your source, you don't worry about whatever situation or circumstance come about, because you know a blessing is coming, and He always is on time. He's always on time. And with that comes true joy. But when you don't allow God to be God and do what He do best, you're constantly stuck, frustrated, confused, upset, sad, just all the emotions, just all the negative emotions. What's the solution? So what's the solution? Build and establish that relationship with God through His Word and with prayer. I am so guilty of that. Those are my thoughts. Those were my thoughts. And I'm getting better. That's something that I have to work through. That's something that I constantly need to be in prayer about, because I will get so caught up in what's going on, get so flustered, so frustrated, that energy transfer over to my children, and they feel it. They know mommy is not feeling the best, or is upset, or whatever the case may be. And I have to pull back. I have to be like, okay, wait, what am I doing? What am I doing? Because at the end of the day, God is in control. God is in control. And when we allow Him to be our source, everything else falls into place. We have to learn how to relinquish control of, relinquish the control that we think we have. Relinquish the desire to always want to be in control, which that could be a tough thing for me, because I'm such a planner, such an organizer. I was like, okay, I need this to be this way. Like, I have to have a certain order, and that's not how God operates. That's not how God operates. But when you relinquish, when you remove yourself, that's when things start to fall into place. When you cannot explain how A got to Z, that's all but God. Like, you can't explain His movements. You cannot explain His things that happens in your life. You just can't, it's unexplainable. It's unexplainable. There's no words for it, but God, that's all it is to it. That's all it is to it. Is it easy? No. I'm still struggling with that. That is one of my biggest struggles, is letting go. Has it gotten better? Yes. Because I'm not sitting in those emotions. I'm not sitting in that and letting it fester and letting it take over. Is it still taking over longer than what I would want them to? Yes. I'm not perfect. I'm human. I'm going to feel those emotions, but it's the time that I'm sitting in those emotions. And am I sitting around moping? And am I sitting just like a bump on a log? Am I doing something to make a difference? Am I praying about the situation? Am I including God in the beginning? Have I included God in the beginning of it? Because when you include God in the beginning of it, all of the frustration, the confusion, the sadness, all that won't be into play if we include him in the first place. So the scripture for this devotion is going to come from Psalms. That is Psalms 30, verse 11. Psalms 30, verse 11. Okay. And this verse reads, "You have turned my mourning into joyful dancing. You have taken away my clothes of mourning and clothed me with joy." And okay. And the question that I wanted to ask myself is, why do I keep allowing situations and circumstances to keep me from having true joy? Why am I allowing any type of situation, any type of circumstance, any type of event that erupts or disrupts the course of life? I mean, we're gonna have obstacles. That's just life. Life is gonna life. Life gonna be life. And when you allow God to be your source and you run into this obstacle, the first thing that he wants us to do is to come to him. But I'm going to tell you, my default is not to run to him. It's, how can I fix this? What do I need to do? How do I do it? And it's so ingrained in the habit of saying, I'm going to pray about it, but I really don't. Saying, God, please take, but it's not coming to him in a genuine way, if that makes sense. It's such this habit of saying, God's going to do it. He's going to fix it. But it's like, you have to put in the work. And I have not been putting in the work. I have not been coming to God genuinely and saying, God, this is the situation. This is the obstacle that we have run into. Lord, how do we proceed? How should we handle this situation? Tell God how you feel. Like, it took me a long time to be able to do that because I felt that I couldn't. When I was going through infertility. I was so angry and I resented him. I was so angry and I had so much resentment for God. And for the longest, I didn't feel like that I could tell him my emotions, but I started pouring him out. I wouldn't say it verbally all the time. I would keep a journal and write it down. Tell God how you feel. Be honest about it. Build that relationship. Like, it's like building a relationship with your just like you would with your spouse. You're not going to hold those emotions in. You have to have that communication. If not, you're going to explode. You're going to leave. You're going to pull yourself away. And that's all that I've been doing, pulling myself away from God, not turning to him when I am when I have these obstacles in life. That's not my first go-to. I'm always trying to figure it out myself, or I'm just so frustrated, so mad, and so angry. But as soon as I say I have no fight in me, I cannot do this anymore, God, I'm done. That's when everything just the peace starts to come. The peace starts to come about when I say I just can't do it anymore. I'm done. I cannot fight. Like there's absolutely no fight in me. It's exhausting. It's tiring. It's just flat out just And when I do that, that's when the peace comes over me. That's when it's like, oh my goodness, why have I been so stressed out? Why am I stressing myself out for nothing? I've been stressing myself out for nothing. But when you allow God, when you allow Jesus to be your source, everything literally falls into place. Everything. So I want you to just think about, why are you allowing those circumstances, those situations, those obstacles? Why are you allowing those to keep you from having that true joy? Are you allowing God to be your source? Are you going to Him when those circumstances or when those situations happen? And it's okay to, like I said, it's okay to have those emotions. You're human. You're going to have emotions. It's okay to have feelings and want to express those feelings. It's okay. How long are you sitting in that? Are you looking for a pity party? Are you pitying yourself? Are you your own pity party? You know, don't allow those circumstances and situations to take over your life, because that's what the devil wants. He wants you to sit in that and let it fester, because once you let it fester, that sets in for depression. That sets in for really bad mental health. You know, that's what he wants. That's what he feeds off of. And once we realize that, and realize that God really wants us to have better, and because we're His children, He wants us to live a happy life, and He wants to be included in that. And once we get to that place and say, okay, I'm not going to allow myself to be trapped in this circumstance. I'm going to allow God to take over, and be honest with your feelings, and it's okay. And I'm still working on that. I'm still a work in process. It's not going to happen overnight, but I'm willing to press forward and keep fighting, and to be in a better place with God. And excuse me. And for me, journaling is the best thing. Writing it down. If you're on a go, use your notes on your phone. Like, just put it in there. I used to have, and I still have them. In my notes, I have a whole section where it's like prayers, and I will write them down, type them up in my phone. I also started something new, which is the prayer wall. So I have prayers on the wall right now that I said I'm just going to pray about it, and I'm going to leave it there. That's just a symbolic way of saying, okay, God, you're going to take care of this. I'm putting my dreams and aspirations up there. I'm putting what my family needs up there, what I desire for my family, what I desire for my life, what I desire for my children, whatever it is, my husband. I put it up on the wall, and I'm going to show you guys. That is my prayer wall. I started that last week, and I will be adding just more and more prayers over time. I'm just going to continue to add them on there, and just be okay with it, letting go, being content, being content, and allowing God to be that source, and not stressing. It feels so good to go to sleep at night and just really be okay. That really feels good when you can just let it go. You are free from it. You brought it to God. It's done. You don't see it. Let Him take care of it, because He's going to take care of it on His own time. And it's not easy. I'm not saying it is easy. It's not easy, because it's like, God, if you want to do it now, I mean, we can get it going now. We can get it going now if you want, God. I mean, I'm just saying. But just being okay with it. You know, being okay with where we are, being content, allowing God to be our source, bringing it to Him first, allowing God to be included, and just praising Him for the blessings and praising Him for where we have come and where we are now, and believing and entrusting that what we desire in our dreams is what He wants for us, and that He's not going to just forget about us, because that's not the love that God has for us. God wants us to have a beautiful life, and He wants to be a part of that life, and He wants to be the center of that life. So are we allowing Him to be that? Are we allowing God to truly be our source and allowing Him to have full control? And that's what I want you to meditate on for this devotional. I thank you so much for tuning in. Please like this video if it was really helpful for you. Like I said, it is very therapeutic and very helpful for me. Spiritually, it is so helpful with me doing this. And I just pray that this is something that is going to help so many other mamas out there. If anybody that just needs a word of encouragement, and to know that they're not alone. They're not alone. I have struggles. You have struggles. We all have struggles. And so I just want to encourage you today. If you have any comments about it, anything that you would like to share and you want to talk about it, please leave it in the comments. I am ready to have all kinds of open conversations with you all. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you in the next devotional. Bye.